Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today I'm going to be taking a look at some more weapon mods in Starfield on the Xbox, one of which is kind of a cool change to one of the original weapons in the game, kind of makes it more like Mass Effect. One of them includes some weapons that you may be familiar with, and then there's a couple others that I wanted to check out that I just haven't gotten around to check out yet, so I figured I'd record it and share my experience. I consider these immersive mods because they fit really well within the game and they're very well done. So if you enjoy the video, leave a like down below, leave a comment if you have any questions about these, but with all that said, let's take a look at some of these weapon mods and see what they're all about. First up, we got the Armalite rifle, and this one fits well in that might be kind of an old world weapon in terms of Starfield lore. There's some different sights that you can put on the weapon, and it has a few different barrel attachments. The description said that it was going to use the 45 ammo, but it seems to use the 6.5mm, so maybe the description just wasn't updated. You can pick this one up by going to New Atlantis and going down to the that UC surplus store that you see. There's a back room, and in the back room there are two versions of this weapon. So there's a custom version and then there's a regular version. The custom version has no handle on the top of it, whereas the regular or Explorer's AR-121 has the handle on. I really like the detail in this mod. Some custom attachments with any weapon mod is always appreciated, but in this one it is important to note that you will need materials in order to actually add some of these attachments, which actually isn't always the case with weapon mods, which we'll look at for the last mod in this list. But this one is immersive because I think it might be something that would be around at the time that this game takes place. Kind of like the old world assault rifle, which is based on the AK. I found myself messing around with the different scopes and sights that you can put on this one. You can use some scopes, kind of like a recon scope from the game, but then also you have some red dot sights as well, which look really cool. At the recording of this video, this mod is relatively new, so I'm curious to know if any of you have tried this one out yet. Let me know in the comments. So we've looked at modifying existing weapons in the game and making them better, but what about if you could take one of them and just modify the actual property of what the weapon actually does? Kind of like a shark with a freaking laser beam attached to their head. And that's where the OmegaTech particle rifle, the Equinox, comes into play. So it takes the Equinox rifle, turns it into a particle rifle like from Mass Effect, so when you shoot, it's a straight laser beam rather than just a single shot. And then it's similar to the cutter, which is funny because you can actually use it as a cutter as well. So much so that the ammo type is actually listed as cutter. However, you can't actually mine any ore with this. You'll still have to actually bring out your cutter if you want to mine any ore. Now once you install this, you can go to the lodge and then go to the basement and then go back to where the Constellation suit was, and then if you look to your right at the boxes, that's where the rifle is going to be. And you'll see with the perks, it does kind of make it more like the Mass Effect particle rifle in a way. Just that simple change of making this more like a straight laser is kind of nuts. Like, I went to Neon and picked a fight with the Neon security, and I was surprised at how long I survived at low health. As far as modifying the Equinox or the particle rifle in this case, get your run-of-the-mill attachments, but make sure you don't actually change it to the semi-auto version, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of downloading the mod. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the ammo is kind of infinite, kind of like your cutter. It recharges the same way, and this thing is a beast to have in your arsenal, so let me know what you think about this one in the comments down below. The mod author has actually been making other versions of Mass Effect weapons with the vanilla weapons in the game, which seems to be a pretty cool way to do it without actually making different models. Although I would love to see that too. And speaking of laser beams, we have the Starlight laser pistol, and this thing shoots lasers, and it's actually really cool because it's similar to the particle rifle we just looked at. It's like a fully auto laser pistol, and there's even a lore-friendly reason for why it's in the game. As far as modifications go, it's your basic things as you're probably used to with pistols, but then you can also increase the damage if you really need to, although I think it's pretty good right out of the gate. And it even spawns in leveled lists, so that means it can show up at vendors or in a chest. I really love the design of the Starlight pistol overall. It looks really cool. It's got a vanilla animation, but I wasn't really a big fan of like the Solstice that was in the game already. So this kind of fits the bill. The ammo counter on the back is also a nice touch because that just looks cool and looks futuristic. If you're using this one or want to share your thoughts on the mod, comment down below and let me know if you've found any really cool pistol mods that you think might be worth checking out. Next up, we have a mod pack, which is actually the Project Warfare pack, which introduces the Infinite Warfare weapons to the Starfield universe. This mod includes a lot, which you probably could tell by the size, but it includes 4K textures for weapons from Infinite Warfare. I dabble in Call of Duty in my spare time as well, between making videos and work, so I'm a little biased, but the detail here is really great, and it also comes with a really cool way to actually get the weapons themselves. You can use these vending machines to actually get different variations of the weapons. These machines are in the Trade Authority at Neon, and then in Aquila City, as well as Hopetown. This is a great way to get some initial weapons without actually spending a ton of credits. You can do it up to 5 times, and you can get the basic versions of the weapons, but then also some legendary versions that have perks attached to them. After you install the mod, go ahead and wait 48 hours, and then you should be able to buy them at any of the Trade Authority vendors, although with this recent update that was actually added into the leveled list, so NPCs can actually spawn with the weapons, and then you can also find them out in the wild. I actually just did one of the cryo missions and found the Varun there, and they were carrying a lot of OSA rifles. I don't know if that was intentional, but it seems to fit with them. So the detail on these are pretty fantastic, and there are some pretty cool customization options as well as far as the scopes, but the animations are vanilla animations, so these are all made to fit to work with those. And some of those cooler attachment options are the sights, which look like they're straight out of Call of Duty. And then the mod author is also looking for suggestions of attachments to actually add to this pack, because it will be something that will be updated, and then there's going to be expansion packs that come out for it as well. So if you have a chance to check out this one, I highly recommend it, and if you have any suggestions for the mod author, or if you run into any bugs or anything, I'm going to link his channel in the description. A new update to this mod dropped actually while I was recording this one, so if you have the mod already installed and want the newer one, just make sure you get rid of or sell any of the things from this mod that you have on you, and then move to a different spot and then save the game. Then you can remove that older mod and install the new one. Just make sure to reload your game afterwards, and you should be good to go. I consider this one immersive not only because the weapon models themselves look really great, but also with everything else that we looked at in this video, it seems like something that might be around when the game takes place and in the Starfield universe, even though these are from a different game. And that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful for you to just get some visuals and see what you would be downloading, especially with something as big as like the Project Warfare mod, for example. There are a few paid mods that I have my eye on as far as weapons go, but I'll probably save that for another video because we have a ton of free mods that we still need to take a look at. And at the recording of this video, Shattered Space DLC is dropping at the end of the month. Thank you again for sticking around, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.